Hello and welcome back to my channel, Boozy Bookish Thoughts. I'm Justine, or Jay if you prefer, and welcome back to my new video. So we are doing my October TBR today. It's kind of a currently reading update plus October TBR. If you've watched my previous TBRs, you'll know that I set very ambitious TBRs, and they're only basically suggestions or guidelines as to what I will be reading in the coming month, and they very rarely are achieved. It's more like an outline of what books I want to get to that month, but I almost never actually read all of them. And I in fact had a very poor 2 months of reading due to a lot of work stress and a couple mental breakdowns. I say a couple, but and I'll talk about that more in my August and September wrap up, which will go up this Friday. This will come up on Tuesday, and so we'll be planning ahead, looking forward to October, and what I'm currently reading, what I hope to finish, and what I hope to look towards. I am currently ill, so we are not drinking wine. We are drinking chamomile and mint tea. It's the same brand as the last time I was ill, Carmencita. So I've been drinking a lot of tea and a lot of water because I'm very congested. It's not the C word though. I took an antigen test, but it's anyway. So what I'm currently reading on my Kindle is Morgan Vale's Potions and Predicaments. I think I talked about this a little in my August TBR. So it's a cozy paranormal mystery. It's about a witch who owns a potion shop in this little cozy paranormal town. And then a rival witch opens up a store, a competing store, and they get into it, and then the rival witch winds up dead, and so now she needs to solve the mystery and clear her name. It's very easy breezy reading fun, but I am getting some like secondhand embarrassment vibes from some of the dialogues, so it's taking me a while to get through. But it's cute so far. I started reading it when I was on business travel, and it was fun to snatch a couple chapters here and there. But I hope to finish it over this next week, since I'll be home, and hopefully my reading will be a little bit more stable. My currently reading audiobook is still Rachel Hawkins' Reckless Girls. There is something about this book. I swear I should DNF it. Any normal reader would have DNF'd this already. But me with my issues with DNFing, like if it's not triggering me, or if it's not triggering me enough, I'm not gonna DNF it because I want to feel the sense of completion. And that is what is happening with me with this book. There is action happening finally. There have been some big revelations. There have been some twists. But honestly, I'm just not caring. I don't care about these characters. They are stuck on a deserted island, and if they stay there, no one would know the difference. It's just I really should DNF it, but I only have like 2 hours left of it, so honestly, all I need to do is like settle down with a couple of glasses of wine and just binge it. But every time I say I'm gonna do that, the allure of my podcast calls me, and I listen to that instead. But really, I'm gonna as soon as I feel better, like I said, I'm ill, but as soon as I feel better, I'm going to try and start taking my daily walk again, which I usually do a couple times around the block, and I use that time to listen to this audiobook. So that's usually like a couple chapters in, so hopefully I'll get through it soon. So those are the two books that I have going on. I'm hoping to finish them both around the same time, since Potions and Predicaments is fairly light, and like I said, I only have a couple chapters left of Reckless Girls, so I should finish them out close around the same time as each other. And then I hope to start something new. I get tired and winded so easily. So for my print books, or for my Kindle, I hope to start Jules Verne, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. This is still part of the unfinished project. I was like halfway through this, and then I remember I was reading this right before I moved to the Netherlands, and I was pretty into it. I remember even bringing it on the plane, but I got just so distracted by the move and by everything happening with it that I put it down and I never picked it back up. And then when I tried to pick it back up, it was when I was severely depressed and not in the right frame of mind to be reading about someone trapped on a submarine. So I'm gonna try it again. This time I'm gonna start from the beginning, and hopefully I will enjoy it just as much. I think this is the first Jules Verne I've read. I think it is. It's actually a pretty short read, if I remember right. So hopefully I'll get through it. The next book is still unfinished project, and that is Kevin Hearn's Hammered. This is the third in the Iron Druid series. Oh, I forgot, I didn't tell you the synopsis of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. But does everyone know this already? It's a guy gets on the sea. He gets shipwrecked and then rescued by a mysterious Captain Nemo who lives on a submarine, and it's his adventures while on that submarine. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. He's not actually 20,000 leagues deep, fun fact. Because the ocean is not deep enough to be 20,000 leagues deep. It's actually a measure of the distance he travels while on the ship, on the submarine. So it's 20,000 leagues under the sea, like the distance from point A to from where he's rescued by Captain Nemo to where he escapes Captain Nemo, or is released by Captain Nemo. So that is the 20,000 leagues. It's not that he's 20,000 leagues under the ocean, because that's like goes straight through the earth. Fun fact. Anyway, back to Kevin Hearn and Hammer. That is the third in the Iron Druid series. Iron Druid is an urban fantasy, and I started it because it was one of the most highly recommended for fans of the Dresden Files, who were itching for more Dresden Files and couldn't get it. To be honest, I found it a poor substitute. I read the book 1 and book 2 very quickly and was pretty underwhelmed by them. But I found copies of book 4 and 5 for free, and I was like, let's try it. So I tried reading the third, and it was underwhelming at the beginning, again, to say the least, but it is part of the unfinished project. I decided, again, with my issue with DNFing, I decided against DNFing it, and let's see if I can get through it again. Wow, I get really tired. After that, we'll be getting to move on to new books. So we're back to reading new books. And I want to kick off this cycle of new books with one of my priorities for the year, which is Terry Pratchett's The Color of Magic. It's the first book in the Discworld series, which is well beloved and very well known. I don't remember the exact synopsis of this book anymore. Something about a tourist and meeting the wizard Rincewind. Correct me in the comments. But yeah, I figure it's a fun, relatively light read, deceptively light read. I'm almost positive I'm gonna like it. And I was talking about this with one of my office mates recently, and he's a huge fan, and he definitely amped up my excitement for reading the series. So I'm gonna try starting it this month. I say it's like 3 books deep, and I never get that far, but one can dream. One can dream. And the last book on my October TBR officially is David Weber's The Short Victorious War. This is the third in the Honor Harrington series. I'm actually not sure how it's pronounced. I assume it's honor, like the way the word is said, honor, but Harrington is the H is pronounced. What's his name? Would have a party. Is it? I assume it's silent H in honor and pronounced H in Harrington. So this is the third in the Honor Harrington series, and I'm not entirely sure what it's about, but I do want to pick it up because I really enjoyed Honor of the Queen, which was the second book, and definitely I read the second book for my partner because I was not overly impressed by the first book, but the second book I definitely enjoyed, and this third book I'm definitely reading for my own interest because I enjoyed the second book so much. So I'm definitely going to pick this up. I'm not entirely sure what it's about, but the short summary of the series is that Honor is a captain in the Royal Manticoran Navy. Manticore is like a space system, and they say she's a captain in the Navy. She commands a spaceship, and she goes on adventures around the universe in her spaceship as part of her duties as a captain in the Queen's Navy, as a commander in the Queen's Navy. So she is so it's a military sci-fi space opera type book. It's a bit different from my usual fare, but it's fun, and I'm actually seeing more similarities with this and my usual fare than I originally expected. So I'll talk a bit more about that in my Friday video. Now for audiobooks. So like I said, I'm still trying to finish up Reckless Girls, but I have downloaded Anthony Horowitz's Magpie Murders. I've talked about this several times already as well. Wow, I'm really out of breath. I need water. Tea isn't cutting it. It's about a book editor who is reading the manuscript of one of her like eccentric authors, and she soon starts to suspect that the murder he's written about in the novel he submitted is based on an actual murder that he committed. Excuse me, I'm really ill. I'm really congested. So, I have downloaded this because I was supposed to go on a long trip out to the province, and I thought it was canceled, but it's been brought up, like it's been reinstated. So I will be going next week, so I will need something to listen to on the car ride, and this will probably be it. So I'm hoping it will keep me occupied during a long car ride. The next book is Casey McQuiston's Red, White, and Royal Blue. Again, everyone knows what this is about. It's about the sons of the President of the United States and the Prime Minister of the UK. Or no, is it like the Prince? The Prince? Yeah, not the Prime Minister? I think it's the Prince. Have to fake date or something, and they fall in love, and it's cozy and cute, and it's amazing. I really want to read this before the movie or series comes out. So that's definitely on the list. And then after that, I changed it up a bit from what my previous TBR was. So I've added Tom Standage's History of the World in 6 Glasses. This is a kind of interesting, it's a nonfiction book. it's a history of the, it is what it says on the title, a history of the world in 6 glasses. So it takes us through humanity from like the Stone Age to the 20th century, something like that. And it does so in the lens of different kinds of drinks, like popular drinks. So beer, I think it covers beer, wine, spirits, coffee, tea, and soda. I think those are the 6 drinks. So it talks about those, it like talks about the history of the world through the lens of those like 6 drinks, and how they were popular, and how they kind of like shaped history, or how they were influenced by history. And so yeah, I thought it's very interesting, and I thought it would be a good something to discuss on a YouTube show that focuses on the intersection between books and booze, especially since it has a section on wine. So I hope to be talking to you about this very soon. The last is Carrie Fisher's Wishful Drinking. This is a memoir by Carrie Fisher about her life as a young Hollywood person, starlet, if you want to call her that. That sounds kind of demeaning. But it really talks about her life, and about her, how it was like to come of age in the spotlight, and what it was like to come from Hollywood legend parents, and her difficulties in life, and I guess with her struggle with substance abuse. So it's a memoir, and I have been wanting to read more memoirs, and Carrie Fisher is a pretty badass woman, and I've always wanted to read memoirs of badass women, so I thought hers was a good place to start. So I hope to get to that soon. So that is my reading plan for October. I know, again, it is very ambitious, but yeah, wish me luck. Wish me luck that I am able to set aside more time for reading this month. And because honestly, reading brings me so much joy. I feel so much healthier when I'm reading regularly, mentally, and it's just a lot more stable mentally. And again, it's just always good to have a good hobby, and to make time for your hobbies. So wish me luck that I'm able to do that this month. And that's it. Leave a comment. What do you think of the books I picked out? Have you read any of these books? What books do you think I should skip and leave off and replace with other books? Leave a comment down below, like and subscribe, and all that fun stuff. And I'll see you in my next video. Thank you. No cheers tonight. Cheers with my tea.